Our sincerest condolences to all the families that were impacted by the most recent violence in our house of worship. This video will deal with the active shooters, and it's one in a series where we will help you and your family understand the necessity for being prepared to deal with the unthinkable when you go to worship or when you're just simply out in public. For more than 45 years, I've stressed to all my clients, my friends, and my family the importance of preparing for the worst case scenario and praying for the best possible outcome. As a graduate of the Executive Security Institute and a person with 45 years of experience in planning for and dealing with executive security, crises, and emergencies, I want to share with my viewers today some valuable advice on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends when you are in your house of worship or in a public place and an active shooter event happens to erupt. So what is an active shooter? Well, they are one or more people that are actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined space. They typically use firearms. However, knives, bombs, and even chemical assaults are possible. There typically is no discernible pattern to the selection of victims. However, recent events directly associated with hate crimes and with family problems have demonstrated the shooters can be selective initially. The number of active shooters have been on the increase since 2013. Our churches, synagogues, and mosques, even our malls, restaurants, are all soft targets. They are open to the public with free access to all. The hours of worship or business are publicly posted. They're often advertised as gun-free zones. And in the case of churches, synagogues, or mosques, they may have and represent a theology or ideology that others oppose. Most have little, if any, security, but more importantly, even if they have security, they may have not explained to their congregations the security measures, and most have never discussed what you as a worshiper should plan for in advance of attending. We must be realistic in our understanding and planning, and here's why. Shooters or other intruders seek to kill or injure as many people as possible. These are evil people with evil intentions. He or she is not generally interested about their own safety or escaping. They will continue to kill until stopped by law enforcement, suicide, or other intervention. You're not going to have time to think during the incident. That's why you need to plan in advance. More than 70% of these events are over with within 5 minutes. Many of them end within 2 minutes. And you have 3 options when the violent event takes place. You can take flight, run to safety, and get away from the scene as quickly as possible, find cover or concealment when you hide behind something or you actually conceal yourself in a room. You can take action against the aggressor. And in order to get away from the event, you must plan in advance how an escape route. How would you do that? Where your exits are? Do you sit near one in church? Do you leave? You want to leave your belongings there. You want to help others if possible get out. You want to prevent others from entering the danger zone. And then you want to call 911 as quickly as you can. When you're safely away, immediately call 911. And now remember to breathe when making this call. Don't hyperventilate. The address and location of the incident. By the way, do you know your house of worship's address? Are essential. The number of shooters or aggressors, tell them the physical description of the shooter's sex, race, what they're wearing, the number and types of weapons they have, rifle, handgun, shotgun, the number of potential victims that are impacted. All of that is vital information. If you can't get out, either take cover or conceal yourself. Get out of the shooter's view. Get behind a column, the pulpit, a pew. If at all possible, get behind a locked door and then blockade the door with everything possible, but stay away from that door. Turn off the lights, all sources of noise, including your cell phone. Keep quiet and still. Call 911 if you can, and if you can't talk, open a line to 911 so the emergency operator can hear what is going on. By the way, there's a difference between cover and concealment. Concealment is when you hide, but you are not protected from the shooter's bullets. Cover protects you from the shooter's bullets. You may As a last resort, if you and your friends are in imminent danger, decide to take action. And if you decide to do so, remember you are fighting for your life and those around you. Now is not the time to be timid. Act as aggressively as you can toward that shooter. Yell, scream, shout, disorient the shooter as much as possible, using your voices alone, if nothing else. Use anything and everything you can find as a weapon. Nothing is off limits. Yell and throw everything you can. Get into your hands and throw it at them forcefully. Work with others if possible, but be committed to disabling and bringing great bodily harm to the shooter. You must have that mindset if you decide to act. Then you will survive and he or she won't. Now, if you're carrying a gun, and I do realize many people are doing so in church these days and don't tell others, now is the time that you must use it. You must not hesitate, but bear in mind when you do that, the consequences. When law enforcement gets there, keep your hands open and visible with your fingers spread apart and your hands up until you're told to do otherwise. Avoid any sudden movements or yelling. Don't ask questions or grab hold of the officers. Exit in the direction that the officers are entering. Leave the building and wait in a safe place or follow the officers' directions explicitly. If you have used a gun or a knife, ensure you've laid it down and stepped away from it, and tell the officers immediately what you have done. Sadly, we no longer live in a safe world. It's not the world of my childhood or yours. Never would I have imagined any danger in going to a house of worship. Never would we have envisioned that evil people would come into our churches, our mosques, and our synagogues and attempt to kill us. However, today we must plan for the worst case and pray for the best outcome. I hope this has been helpful. Please visit our website where we'll be sharing additional church ministry safety videos and information on what you must be thinking about and planning for, and sign up to be notified of our forthcoming Church Safety Ministry webinars. If at any time I can be of professional or personal assistance to you or your house of worship, please feel free to contact me at the information on this screen. May God bless and protect you, and may God bless America.